When the darkness falls, when the shadows grow deep and black, the silent pall of evil settles upon the earth. Who dares to search? Who dares to see what walks in the night? If you dare, welcome to the Nightmare of the Gratu Orloff special, Saturday afternoon special. It's, I don't know, Saturday, September 24th. What, you expect me to know what day it is? Fuck you, man. So, we're here, we're having fun. There's a link in the chat if all zero of you watching may want to appear on the show. Digging through, organizing in the comic book room, it's been quite a chore. Finding things like Weird Love, reprints of 1950s weird love stories, like Love of a Lunatic. Craig Yo is putting these books out, and I don't know why I don't have every single one of them. What would be the reason? Were they expensive? $4? No. He also put out these hardcover books. If you'd like to be a guest on this amazing installment of the Gratu Orloff Show, you can click on the link in the chat. Here's another copy of Weird Love. Look, it's a picture biography of Ronald Reagan. Yeah, these are really cool. So I'm going to file these in the independent section under W. Yeah, this friend of mine that's a H.P. Lovecraft expert is, in theory, going to come on in a minute. Depends on whether he has a cell phone that was once owned by H.P. Lovecraft, and so it's a little bit antique, and he's going to see if it will allow him to utilize the amazing StreamYard.com. Yes, StreamYard.com/C8XEYYS5PI. And you can be on this historic broadcast. Yes, here's this. I was given this at the Six Flags Mall Theater on the opening day of The Thing with Kurt Russell, the John Carpenter film. How about that? Hold on a second here. Hey, yeah. Summon forth all the scum and villainy and vermin. We need to have a chat. I'm sick of seeing. All right, fuck you. Goodbye. I'm sick of seeing the string dangling on the replays. Damn string. Okay, now we'll look more professional on the Gratu Orloff Network. Okay, 3 people watching. Incredible. Let's see. Warp Web, WizKids, Weird. Why is this Radio Shack comic? Why are these in the W section? These are freebie comics you'd get at Radio Shack. the nationwide supermarket of sound. So why are they in the W section? So I don't know why. I would put them under R. That would make more sense. Oh, because with the third issue, it's the Tandy Computer Whiz Kids. Somebody stop watching. What the fuck's wrong with you? This isn't entertaining enough for you? Communist. Let's see. I need to stop cursing on this channel. What is it? Weird. Okay, this first issue of Cheryl Blossom needs to go with the Archie comics, which are in the closet right here, man, right over there, man. There's a TV show there on that Fox Network called The Simpsons. I'm gonna put these in there with the goddamn Simpsons books. The Spirit. This. Here's some. Look at this fucking thing. 666, The Mark of the Beast. All these very wholesome comics. I don't know anything about that. Here's another one. It's all about the Book of Revelations. Space Ghost, Simpsons before Space Ghost. Oh, here's some more. Okay, so I'll file this. Radioactive Man. This is a glow-in-the-dark cover. Oh, I got a viewer back. We're back up to 3 viewers. Okay, I'm filing these books away. I'm just putting them all under S for SI for Simpsons. We now have 4 viewers. All 4 of you can come on if you want. The link is in the chat. The chat is in the link. The bread is the life. The blood is the life, Renfield. Simpsons, 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 Simpsons. Here today and gone tomorrow, man. What's wrong with you people? I'm going to read this Bugs Bunny funny book. That wasn't good. Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies. Oh, that's cool, this poster that Bugs Bunny would have sent you. You've got the Lone Ranger, you've got Tarzan, you got Roy Rogers. All the Dell characters. This is from the Dell company. Let's show. My friend says, I tried to make my phone work, but no luck. I think I'd be better off with a string and 2 cans. Try your tablet, Forrest. Just try clicking on the. What did it? Shit. Maybe I could call you and put you on the speaker, and we could have a chat. Okay, so this goes over here. All right, so StreamYard is too sophisticated for his phone that was made in 1926. Cosmic Book. Ever see this book, Cosmic Book? Tales of gods and kings of space and things. Pretty cool, man. Here's an H.P. Lovecraft comic for us. H.P. Lovecraft's The Haunt of Horror. It says it has explicit content. Hello, Forrest. You're live on the air on the Gratu Orloff television program.
Oh, I thank you for calling.
Yeah, what's going on when you try to click on it? What's going on?
It just doesn't give me the chat on the.
Oh, you can't see the chat
on my phone, right?
What? Well, try. Yeah.
Try this tablet, which is going to be even more hopeless because I think it's.
No, here. I'll tell you what. Here, just type this. You've got a web browser on your phone, right?
Yeah. Let me see what I can do here.
Here, let me just. I'll just type this in. I'll give you the actual letters and shit to type in.
All right. Let me see what I can do here.
Yeah. There's got to be a camera attached to your.
The camera's not the problem. It's just that the chat won't show up on a live stream on this phone because I'm tech-tarded.
Yeah. Do you know of a Marvel comic of H.P. Lovecraft, Richard Corbin drew with Arthur German, The Well and the Window adaptations?
The Well and the Window?
Are those stories by H.P. Lovecraft? Probably not.
The Strange Case of Arthur German, or that may not be the exact title, but I'm very familiar with that, and I like the way that story starts. If it's the one I'm thinking of, and I'm right, it says, "Life is a hideous thing." That's the opening sentence.
Yeah, that's what it says, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that heartwarming?
Yeah, so you don't know this comic book, huh?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay, so you need to, you ready to type on your walkie-talkie?
Let me see what I got going on this tablet, because I've just signed. I thought I'd signed in.
The tablet should work, I would think. I'm sure it has a camera attached to it.
Yeah, that's better at least. Dot, 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 dash, dash, dash. Ah, this is so annoying. I miss my typewriter.
Yeah. God damn. What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I don't see that this is going to work out, so I'm gonna give up.
Why are you going to type this in first and see if it works?
Oh wait, now hold on. This might have worked something. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get. That's not it. All right, this might be better, dude. Hold on a second. This must be fascinating for people.
Yeah, all three people watching.
Watching.
They haven't signed off yet, so it's probably more entertaining than
StreamYard.
Say what?
I clicked on StreamYard. I'm trying to use this tablet.
Yeah. Okay, so what you've got to do to get into the show is StreamYard.com /
and then C8X.
No, C8E. No, yeah, C8X. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know what you're doing.
Says decent lighting. They want me to do decent lighting.
It's all right. They're just trying to get you to light yourself, and they're just trying to make sure you look professional, so StreamYard doesn't look bad.
I don't know how professional I look. I don't feel professional.
Well, nobody's professional here.
Right. So it says allow mic cam access.
Yeah. You're just allowing it to listen to you, to surveil you.
Yeah. So it's thinking about it.
Okay, you're getting in, is what you're doing, yeah.
Oh no, this isn't working. I'm gonna just enjoy your show. I'm just gonna hang up and let the entertainment begin.
Okay.
I'm done. I mean, I'm not done with watching the show. I'm done with trying to do this streaming bullshit.
Okay, all right.
That's my cheery attitude for the day. All All right.
All
Talk
right.
to you later.
All right. Take care. Bye. All right. So his technology is not up to the snuff of this network. Anyway, I guess this is issue 3 of 3, H.P. Lovecraft's Haunt of Horror. Apparently, there's some Egyptian monkeys that are menacing people. Yes, it's Arthur German and H.P. Lovecraft. Fortunately, Richard Corbin is no longer with us. So oh shit, what the fuck is happening there? What happened? Oh, my phone was calling a number. Oh, jeez, that's not good. What was that? Okay, so that's amazing. Whatever. Oh well. Well, how are you guys doing? I went live to see if my friend called me and I said, well, hey, why don't you come on live? He was going to show us a book that was published in the 1400s because he's a big book collector, but he wasn't able to come on. And I said, I was thinking of doing a live show to kill some time before this antique car show. Here's another issue of Weird Love. I guess no one wants to come on. There's no romance in rock and roll. Yeah, this was a great series. It's unfortunately not published anymore because people in the comic book community do not buy cool things, apparently. And then Craig Yo also put out this Haunted Horror magazine, which also reprints pre-code horror. I'm trying to get this stuff organized. So this beatnik cigarette holder, I need to get that cigarette holder fixated to the card. Man, it's cool. Oh man, it's a way out. Sounds like Joe Biden speak. Come on, man. Smoke something on this cigarette holder, man. I'll take you behind the gym and beat you up, man. Come on, man. Oh, here's a great Jim Steranko cover. How about that? This is Haunted Horror 33. This is number 6. Boy, I need to get a lot of copies of this. Here's number 7. If Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona is watching this, do you have any of these in your back issue bins? That's number 7. There's another copy of 7. And then we have issue 14. Look at this great stuff. Damn. I cannot account for why something like this was coming out, and I don't have every single issue of it. Sometimes things baffle you and confuse you. Well, you have 8 human beings watching. Maybe we're on against a football game or something. Really, pretty cool. That's issue 23. And issue 25. Ooh. Look at that guy. Oh, Meyer Greenblatt's here.
What's going on?
Hey there. What's up?
Having a cup of tea.
Oh, cool.
What's going on?
Just killing time. I thought a friend of mine could come on, but his technology is not up to it, and I'm just killing time until this car show starts at 4. It's 2:36. It'll probably be cool to get there a little early and see all the cars as they come into the square. I was gonna film it, and I'm organizing these independent comics, non-Marvel DC stuff. And trying to find just a way to organize things around here. So what have you been up to?
Nothing much. Same old. Nothing really. Just taking it all in as usual, right?
Yeah.
You know? I've been watching a lot of videos about all this stuff. Like I watched some videos about, like about She-Hulk and the new Lord of the Rings show.
Oh,
and
everyone's complaining.
What's that?
There's like a million shows where people are complaining. I've only seen the first episode of She-Hulk, and I haven't seen any of the Lord of the Rings. I don't know that I want to.
So I've watched all of She-Hulk, and it's terrible.
Yeah.
At this point, it's a very difficult hate watch. Like I'm watching it, making myself. It's hard to describe.
It's like watching Faces of Death. It's like you don't want to watch it, but it's like a dare almost.
It's like watching one of those old atrocity war, combat films that they only distributed to the army theaters. You know what I mean? That showed like the trenches of bodies at Auschwitz and stuff. It's pretty awful. You know the one. You know the newsreels I'm talking about. You know the newsreels with Mussolini getting stepped on by crowds of people in the street.
Right. Yeah. And in junior high, they showed some color films. I don't know. The teachers knew what they had ordered from the teacher film warehouse, but it was they were shooting flames into these caves. Japanese guys are running out on fire. It's like, oh man.
Wow. Yeah. And the Lord of the Rings show, I've tried 2 times, and both times it's put me to sleep quicker than any Ambien or anything I've ever took before. It just puts me directly asleep.
Well, my wife's been looking for something to make her fall asleep. But
just put on that new Amazon Lord of the Rings show, and it'll put her to sleep quicker than those like Howard Stern, Eric the actor,
I
video.
hear that they spent close to literally $1 billion on that.
Yeah, I think it's like $4 million an episode or something. I don't know. Maybe it's more than that. I'm not sure.
Let's
Hey, what's up,
see.
everybody?
Movie World says, I haven't watched She-Hulk yet. I hated the first episode of Rings of Power. I won't continue watching it. But I see he's got comments. So, but I do like the new Quantum Leap show so far. I think I heard there's a new Quantum Leap.
I haven't seen it yet.
I saw a commercial for it. I never watched the original Quantum Leap.
I did. I liked it. It was good. I enjoyed it.
I hear it was. Remember explaining, talking to some teacher at some point at some conference about DC Comics and how they had multiple Earths, and she said, "Oh, they got into quantum physics and comics," and she mentioned the Quantum Leap show or something. So I guess it has something to do with that. I don't know. She seemed impressed. The Catwoman, the life and times of a feline fatale. This is a pretty cool book. I didn't even know I had this. There's Betty Page Confidential. You probably know this magazine, Markalite. Do you remember this?
No, I don't remember that at all.
It's the magazine of Japanese fantasy.
When is that from? That might be like before I was into it.
1990.
Huh. I don't know. I was in the Army at that time, but I don't remember that magazine.
Yeah, it was Spectre Man.
Yeah, I do.
That's see, it even has a centerfold. Kumi Mizuno from Monster Zero, 1965. Yeah, it's all up Godzilla's ass and all the other kaiju stuff. So it seems like you would be able to find this around in San Francisco at comic. I mean, this is a while back, but this one's fall 1991.
Yeah, I just haven't seen that before.
There's another centerfold.
It looks like something I'd be interested in, though.
Oh yeah, Ultraman family.
I mean, it used to be the only way. You've talked about it before, but with these, I'll just call them counterculture magazines, because it was really the only way to research and find out about quote unquote bad film would be in these kind of magazines that were being published on a small scale and distributed on a small scale.
There's the Dead Sea Scrolls, a new translation.
Nice.
You ever see this? TV sets, fantasy blueprints of classic TV homes.
No, I haven't. That looks great, though.
I'll give myself full screen for a second. This is an architect that studied all these television shows and drew blueprints that from which you could actually build homes. So he's got this is if you want to build the home from Green Acres. And here's the whole town of Mayberry laid out where everything is.
This is great.
Sometimes it has to be done. Sometimes he has to infer stuff like in the Munsters, they may not have ever shown the bathrooms. So he has to kind of figure out where the bathrooms would be. Like here's the Brady house. Well, that's part of their house. This is the whole, so you could actually build the Brady's house, but here's the home of the Jetsons.
I think this is really cool. I mean, I would like to build that stuff on a smaller scale, of course. It'd be fun like that to make, miniatures.
Here is Herman and Lily Munster's house. I guess that's they got all the blueprints of every floor. which I'm sure is what they did. That couple that built, partly they used this when they built a replica of the Munsters house to live in Waxahachie, Texas. They used to open it up to the public on Halloween to benefit charity. Here's the Addams family house.
There's a guy in my neighborhood who has part of his, he has his house. The inside of it is built to look like the bridge of the original Enterprise from the first show. He's been on a bunch of, he lives a couple blocks from me. It's been on a bunch of TV shows, and my youngest son used to be really good friends with him and used to hang out there all the time. I don't really know him well enough and feel comfortable enough to go take a camera over there and like film it and stuff and show you guys. But he essentially has the whole Enterprise bridge in his upstairs living room, and then he has the house is full of Star Trek stuff. But you know what I was thinking when you showed me that book was it reminded me of your painting of the Addams family relative that looks like the giraffe.
Oh yeah.
Because what's interesting about that is I always wanted to do what you did right there. I always had an interest to do that, and I used to always be fascinated by the interior decor of television shows that we used to see over and over and over again, right? And so I had already noticed that painting before you had painted it, and before I had discovered that you had painted it. I had noticed the painting and had wanted to paint it, and then I see your channel and I see that you've already done it. I was like, wow, that's a trip. That's a niche thing. So then you think about how many other people noticed that painting and wanted to do the same thing that you did.
Well, cool. I used a little bubblegum card of the Addams Family bubblegum cards. There's one of the cards is a close-up of the painting.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I used that and as a reference, and then there are color pictures of the Addams family's house that are online, but the way I could really get the color references, because the card is black and white like the show, to get the colors right on the painting, I used the Viewmaster reel, and you could see it in the background, so I knew the colors. And so I don't know if I got it exactly right, but that was during a time period when I was really, really obsessed with the Addams family, like big time. Didn't you show an issue of Oriental Cinema the other night on 4-Color Fossils?
Yeah, I did. I have a few issues of that.
Yeah, I've got like a whole pile of them here. Let's see if I've got, here's issue 1.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Is this the one you showed?
No, I don't have that. I didn't show that particular one. I don't have issue 1, but that's the magazine. It's a great magazine.
Yeah, here's issue 3, the Jackie Chan issue.
Yeah, I have that one. He did a great job. The guy, I forget his name, but it's a guy from, I think, Fremont here in the Bay Area, in San Francisco Bay Area.
I think his name is, if I'm not mistaken, Damon Foster. Yeah, he was he was friends with the guy I was talking about. I can't assume you've seen the episode. I think I did yesterday, or was it this morning? Just one of the days I was talking about my friend Joe Riley and how he he did a public access show with a guy named Eddie Holland in Dallas about Japanese cinema, and so this is the back issue of issue 5. Yeah, I was into this stuff. I still am, but you look back at different obsessions you had at different times, and you still really like it, but for a while it's like something burns really bright, and then you discover some other shiny object and move on. It's not that I don't love this stuff anymore. It's just for a while it was just like really all consuming. The Japanese stuff seemed really cool. Especially discovered all these stupid. Sorry.
That was a well put, good description of the whole thing, of fascination with Japanese culture early on in the 80s. And then also just the niche of these magazines, the attraction to like a bright, shiny object, something new in fandom that no one had really been into before at this level. these magazines was the best way to like find out this information.
Yeah, because it was pre-internet.
You had to go to like Japan.
This is this Heroes on Film is the same guy, Damon Foster. Yeah, it was pre-internet.
Yep, exactly.
And,
I have
so that this was the internet. Magazines were the internet.
Exactly.
It's a shame to see that magazines really just don't even exist anymore. No, all of the stores don't have magazine racks. They just have some by the checkout counter in the supermarket, and they're not really even.
Yeah.
It's. And when the internet came along, I thought this is cool, but how do I started printing everything I saw on the internet and putting it in all these spiral bound because I wanted to preserve the internet. It seemed to. This is a really good magazine, Pure Images. Do you know this magazine?
No, I haven't seen that.
This is from, I believe, Greg Theakston. Yeah. And he did, Greg Theakston also did this magazine. I think after this issue, he went to a comic book sized. So I have that.
He did Betty Pages. He did Betty Pages. And I've got a couple books from him.
Yeah, he's great. There's it's got Doc Savage
what
on
was
the
that
back.
magazine that he made that cheesecake magazine called Tease.
Right, he did that too. This has a thing about James Warren in it called the Warren Report. Those kids. I guess cool. That's James Warren with one of his models. He's still around, you know. He's still around and pissed off that Shudder and Vampirus Carmilla are being put out. But anyway, it's all about. Yeah, there are whole books out about him. He had that classic 50s look, you know. So.
Maybe that was the girl that was on the cover of Famous Monsters #1 with the Frankenstein mask on.
Could have been. Yeah, it just keeps going. It's just so the house that Ack built, you really need to if you're into monsters. So they've got an article on Bob Clampett in here. Yeah, this was great stuff. And all these poses of Steve Holland, the guy that was the model for Doc Savage and the Avenger, and he played Flash Gordon.
Right.
Yeah, in the 50s TV show, I think that was made in Germany. Yeah.
What was the name of that painter that painted those? I forget the painter's name.
James Bama.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. This is when was this from? Got to be the early 90s. Shit. It's got White Zombie. I'm trying to find a date. But it's got Russ Meyer and Les Baxter and Frank Kozik, and I would say it's from about 92 or 93. But yeah, that's sometimes it's hard. Do I put this with music magazines or with movie magazines? Because it covers the whole gamut of culture. People into, cars. It's just a whole, I guess, lifestyle magazine. And this Frank Kozik that did those concert posters back then.
Yeah. And then all the new stuff too for like Juxtaposed magazine.
And I Bad Brains, weren't they? There were some. I kind of remember they existed, but I don't know much about them. So, but
I think they were a punk band.
Yeah. And here's like Rob Zombie art. See, he's influenced by the same things. He's got the Kamen Rider heads over here. And, so I hope, I don't know. The trailer for the Monsters does not look promising, but
boy, it sure doesn't, does it? It looks. It didn't. it didn't impress me at all. Like, especially what didn't impress me was the cinematography, the color and the sets and the costumes. I was bummed by all of it.
Yeah, I was looking at some monster magazines earlier, like Famous Monsters covers, and thinking, well, maybe he's trying to get these bright colors that were on these 60s monster magazine covers, but
like Basil Gogos.
You like that? Yeah, I think that's what he's trying to do, but I've people have seen it because it's been leaked. It got leaked to the internet somehow. I think the whole thing was up on YouTube for a little bit.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't watch it, but I saw that it was up.
Well, someone's put one. It looks like it's up, but if you click on it, it just says, "Go to this other website so we can infect your computer."
Oh, okay.
But anyway, the thing about it is, they said it. They actually liked the look of it, but they said the writing wasn't. Because I can't imagine it would be. He's not. He may have all the same influences we have, but I don't think he's a good filmmaker. I don't think he ever has been, and the whole deal of going back and doing an origin story of Herman Munster and how he met Lily. I don't know that that's what I would have done, because then I don't know. How long have Herman and Lily been together? When do you set it? Is it set in what time period? Because you still have to have enough time for Eddie Munster to be born and be 10 years old. And I think in the TV show, Marilyn Munster had been with them since she was a baby. So, it's just not, unless it takes place, in the 1920s or something, because I don't know.
From the looks of it, he's removed the whole family aspect, right? From the trailer, it looks like it's what
why do that?
It's just Grandpa, Herman, and Lily, and that's it, right?
His wife probably doesn't want him having to hire some pretty blonde to be Marilyn Munster, because then she wants to be the only girl in the movie or something. I don't know.
So he's already like off track, because it's the idea of the attraction of the show is that it's a family show, and it's a parody of like Leave It to Beaver. Essentially, it's a monster version of a family sitcom, a classic 50s or 60s,
right? And they don't know they're monsters. They're not. It's all very. It's played out very much like Father Knows Best, and it's just the humor.
So he missed the point already in that aspect of it. It would have made more sense to try and do, what they did it successfully with the Brady Bunch. Do you remember those? They made a couple Brady Bunch movies where they got these new actors. Those were actually funny. They were actually pretty good. The premises were good. They stayed within. They made it nostalgic and humorous for the right people, right? So they should have done it more like that, or that's how I would have thought. Nostalgia Digest.
Yeah, I don't know that one. Here's Good Stuff.
I haven't seen that either.
This is the official catalog and magazine of the Thriller Club. I guess I guess they're fans of Boris Karloff and Thriller. They've got. Let me see if I can position my finger. They've got Betty Page topless on the back cover. Let's see. Interview with it's like all about the TV show Thriller, and then it's got all these nude pictures of Betty Page in it. But this is cool because this, if you shrank it down, is a really cool thing. The Thriller Club, they've made their own little
that is cool.
Fan club card.
That face logo is really famous, right? Who used that?
Well, that was the vampire woman that they made masks of. They would sell the masks in different monster magazines, and but yeah, that was.
I've seen buttons and stickers of that.
What is this? Do you have to? I'm trying to figure out how they did this. There's like, oh wait, I see. You're supposed to pull this out. If you pull it out, then you can. So you see half of this Thriller card, and then the other half is here. So you have to pull out the centerfold of this, and it's double-sided. And there's a ton of it's like half Boris Karloff, half topless pictures of Betty Page. It's which is about, where a lot of people's minds were then.
Right.
I mean, in the 90s, it was like monsters and Betty Page. I was
kind of a perfect pairing.
And then they have a little bit about EC in the back. Yeah, I've got tons of these magazines. It's just if you live near the right record store that carries this kind of thing. I don't think comic book stores carried this kind of thing.
No, they didn't. And yeah, it was all about living in a large enough metropolitan area where you had a edgy record store.
Yeah,
and that was it. And that was where I bought a lot of my good VHS stuff. That's of the stuff that we're talking about. VHS tapes of Schlock and Kaiju that I would buy for like $1 or $2 at this record store I used to go to called Dimple Records. It used to have everything there.
Now, this you could get in comic stores. This is Fanfare, the magazine of popular culture and all the arts. I've shown this before. This it used to be called Graphic Story Magazine. This is a real thick, really good magazine. That's
Linda Carter
that's
right
spring
there.
of '77, about when Wizards came out, and then there'd be a lot of time between issues because Wizards was pre-Star Wars, and by the time the second issue comes out, Battlestar Galactica is about to hit. Imagine if Battlestar Galactica really looked like the Frank Frazetta paintings. Then issue 3 is about Japanese animation. And then issue 4 is from 1981. It's like a year went between each issue.
What a great time, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Damn. So let's see. Go Away says, greetings all. Yeah, my friend Forrest called and he was wanting to commission me to do a painting because I've been talking about that lately. And I said, hey, come on live. But he wasn't able to do it. But I've got several people interested in buying paintings or commissioning me to do paintings. I'd like to do that as a way to make a little money.
That's great.
This is I don't know if this is Charlton. No, it can't be Charlton. All these magazines came out after Star Wars, these cheapo fantasy space magazines. What the hell does that say? Cousins Publication. Yeah, you can see why I kind of thought at first it was Charlton. The world's first and luckiest golden horseshoe. But yeah, this is right after Star Wars came out. They've got pictures from Flesh Gordon in here. Well, one that you've seen Flesh Gordon, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember. Well, I uncomfortably started watching it like probably about 1980, 1981, at the very beginning of when we first we got Showtime at my house before we got home box office.
Uh-huh.
So Showtime for a short period of time was showing Flesh Gordon, and I knew what it was, and I might even have already watched it before.
Yeah.
But whatever my mother and I were watching on the living room television led right into Flesh Gordon, and she stayed in her chair to the beginning where the giant, like, it was a big penis shaped spaceship that like flew into camera, and that happened right as she was getting up, and I was like, oh, and I couldn't get up to change the channel quick enough. But,
yeah. I remember when HBO first came in, and it's like, oh, Dawn of the Dead's on, and my father came into the room right when the National Guard or whatever is raiding the projects, and they kick open a door and blows this guy's head just explodes, and my father, he's get this. I don't know. He said, "Get this goddamn shit off. Get this." He might have said the F word. He was not pleased, and he's a war veteran. He didn't want to see this shit. This like don't. I don't think he was real happy with them bringing all that into because before you never heard the F word in your house coming from the television until HBO came along and Hollywood brought and oh man, that's not good. My wallet's starting to fall out of my pants. That could have been bad.
You're right. I still remember the first movie I ever watched on HBO at a friend's house, and it was the novelty of seeing a movie that was uncut, that was R-rated without adult supervision. And we watched this movie called The Valachi Papers. It was a Charles Bronson movie.
Yeah.
And
the thing about it is, everyone remembers the first time they saw an R-rated movie in their home. For me, it was a real lame one. It was like, it was like with Alan Alda or something. It was a movie where he's a senator, but it had like a scene implying a blowjob or something. What was that movie? It was we were in a motel, and it was playing, and my parents were out, and I watched that. And it's the first time I'd seen an R-rated movie on a television set. But see, that was the first exciting thing, is to be able to see movies uncut that were edited before on network television. And then it was to see the widescreen, to see the parts that were cut off on both sides of the screen to fit on the little TV screen. And then people didn't understand it. It was, on Laserdisc and early DVD, they said, I want the whole picture to fill my screen. And so they didn't understand, because when there was a widescreen movie, they'd have to squeeze it to fit all, so you could read what's being said in the opening credits and whatever. But now TVs are at least shaped with a widescreen. So that's, people don't understand how lucky they are if they're movie fans. But now I don't even give a shit about movies. Comic books have made me uninterested in comic books. Hollywood's made me uninterested in movies. It's like, what's left? There's no music to enjoy. Everything is just going back to old stuff. I can't. I was the biggest movie lover. It's like, they just keep taking everything and making it horrible.
It's hard to find anything good that's new. I mean, I do it all the time. I check to see if I can find a good horror movie on Amazon Prime, and I end up watching something old every time. It's hard to find, which is really strange, right? And so what that tells you is that the industry has changed directions. I mean, it's always been going in the same direction, but it's amped up the acceleration of the direction that it's been going for 50 years. And it's just obvious pandering, and it's cringe. It's hard to even watch because it's so lame. But Yeah, I mean, I notice stuff and I think about things when I watch reruns of old television on YouTube, or when I watch old movies, or when I watch new shows or new movies. I'm reminded of old stuff that was so much better. And
Yeah.
one of the things that bugs me the most with the new things is that filmmakers or writers or artists in 2022 seem to think that they've invented things that have been around for 50 or 100 years. And so that's like the most insulting thing. It's like when they talking about like black female empowerment with this new movie about this African tribe, and I'm like, gee, nobody remembers Julia. That was like an incredible show, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a great show. And then I start thinking, why don't they make more shows like Julia? If they want to portray strong, successful, or happy, well adjusted Black American women, why not make more movies like Julia or shows like Julia? And then I realized that's the reason why they haven't made any more shows like Julia. And it's the reason why Whoopi Goldberg has been the same Black woman who talks on TV every day for the past 40 years. Why haven't they brought in any more Black women? Why is it always her? So that's the stuff. What is it? Project, or what was it? Operation Mockingbird?
Oh yeah.
Where
I've heard. Yeah.
the CIA started, using television and entertainment.
Yeah. It's you can see the progression of it over the years. The Cosby Show was positive, but
Yeah.
they brought Bill
So
Cosby down, and now they've let him out of prison. So I assume that means that maybe they don't want to admit it. That maybe he will. I don't know. If you
the
say
other one that I thought of was, you remember Florida from Good Times? She was the mother on Good Times. I think her name
Yes.
was her name Florida? Was it James in Florida? So she was this incredible mom, right? And
Yeah.
she was like everything. She was like loving, accepting, understanding. The show
Right.
basically, she was like the compass of the show. So
Right.
it's interesting that I don't know. I don't watch contemporary TV, so it's possible, they're doing that. But guaranteed, if they're doing something like that now, they act like no one else has ever done it before, and they
Well,
pretend like it's empowering, or that and it becomes pandering and cringe.
Well, at
And when
first it was funny when they would make the father in a sitcom look like a dope and an idiot and a slob, and it was funny because no other sitcom had done that. The fathers were always these stalwart, wonderful
Right.
people like Robert Young and Father Knows Best. It's okay, princess, let's say our prayers. And it's like, and then all of a sudden you've got Married with Children and The Simpsons, and well, maybe it probably started with All in the Family, and
Yeah.
Archie Bunker, and then it's like the male, the father figure is always dope and stupid, and then it
Jeffersons
can't
did it.
turn that way at
So
every TV commercial.
the Jeffersons did it right after the Bunkers did it. Right. They made George Jefferson. There was a running joke, just like there was with Archie Bunker, that he was stupid and bigoted and had he was.
I don't. I guess it wasn't that way at every Norman Lear show, because I think the dad in Good Times wasn't dumb.
No.
But you could
And
just see how
Mom.
it now. Every time there's a male, they're dumb, or they have to, and you've seen it now in the Marvel movies. Every character is either dead, or they've just gotten rid of them all. Or Thor was completely emasculated. Doctor Strange was, and so what it is, it's they're really trying hard to bring in Chinese style communism. And some people realize what's going on, some people don't.
Yeah, it's become more obvious and obvious to me like every year, but and then it becomes more and more amazing to me that people don't notice it and that they're not aware of it. And You remember that movie Network? Was it with
Yeah.
who was it? Was it Albert Finney? Didn't he win like Best Actor or
It
something?
was well,
Peter
no,
Finch.
his name was
Peter Finch. Was it
Peter
Peter Finch?
Finch. Yeah.
So that movie was essentially about fake news, right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, yeah,
30 years.
he was portrayed as being nuts, and he was saying basically everything that's happening now, which so now whenever anyone goes off about what's happening now, so he's crazy, like that guy in that movie, or the general uh in uh, Dr. Strangelove. I have to
Right.
think now to say Dr. Strangelove because I'm used to saying Captain Strangelife. It's like now I gotta
Yeah,
think, you know, it's classic movie that used to be just immediately roll off my head because Captain Strangelife's all over the place. It's like, but anyway, yeah, the general in that was like talking about fluoride in the water, and it's like, oh, that's ridiculous. And now we know that I don't know, at least I believe that's not a good thing.
Well, there's a name for it. It's called preemptive programming, and it's like Capricorn 1. So it's like that movie Capricorn 1, where they were aware that there were people after the moon landing that were questioning the validity of the moon landing.
Yeah.
So they decided to make a fictional movie about that conspiracy theory before it's even called a conspiracy theory, to draw weight against it, just like and it's preemptive programming. It's to put that in people's mind that it's a ridiculous, fanciful notion that would only be in a movie.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. It's that's how they do it, and they tell us what they're going to do before they do it, and they make movies to ridicule people that realize what's going on, and yeah. There's nothing. But you know, so I just surround myself with all this old stuff. But I even realized there's propaganda in a lot of the old stuff too. You know, but just didn't seem as malevolent.
No, I agree. I agree.
So, are there any stores around you that really have good selections of old comic books?
Not really. No,
Really?
There used to be, but there used to be a couple different shops in the city that you could get, you know, good old comics from, but both of them are out of business. So now the only shops in the city anymore are like those corporate ones that are more toy stores than they are comic stores. There's even a shop in the city that is one of the more successful ones, that every single comic that they get on Wednesdays directly out of the box immediately goes into a bag and a board and gets taped, and you can't open it up and look through it and look at the comic. I swear to God, I've
heard of that.
The rules of the comic shop. The rules of the comic shop are you can't open up the comics and look at them. And this is a place that has no back issues, only current stuff. And I don't know what they do with all the stuff that doesn't sell, because it looks like none of it sells. But there's still a couple good old record stores and bookstores that are left where you can buy and find cool stuff, but not back issues of comics like what we're looking for and what you're talking about, which is one of the most saddest things, because when you think of San Francisco, you think of the history of it being like these kind of underground, grubby bookstores and record stores and comic shops. And it used to be that way, but it hasn't really been that way for about 10 years. It's the times have changed. People have changed. The demand is not there anymore on a larger scale. Or a large enough scale.
Yeah.
So I imagine most people that are of our ilk that live here do exactly what most of us do, and that's buy stuff over the internet.
Yeah, I guess that must be the way to do it. Here's some episodes of The Hypnotic Eye. I think they're all up on the internet anyway.
there's no point in trying to put them on YouTube because people used to have these on YouTube and they were, I think, taken down for copyright reasons.
Because of the some of the content that he had edited in there.
Yeah, there was music and stuff. It was just it was fine on public access, but
I've seen little snippets of it on YouTube. I've seen like a couple clips of Hypnotic Eye that are like an episode where he's sitting on a couch, and I feel like there's another. Is there some content where you're talking as a Donny Osmond doll? What is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Do you have a Roku?
No, I don't use Roku.
If you got a Roku, there's some Roku channels that show the Hypnotic Eye. Roku is like pretty much all I use. I don't subscribe. I don't cable or anything. And Roku lets you play YouTube on your television and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't have Roku. I'm a gamer, so I have a PlayStation.
Oh, okay. Oh, and you play YouTube through that?
Yeah, I think it's a PS4 is the one I use now. So yeah, I play games and that's how it's like a modem essentially.
Look at her expression there. This is a British deal.
I haven't seen that.
Looks like a 60s Wonder Woman story in here. Yeah, looks like it's from about 1967, judging by the art. And then a Neil Adams Superman story.
But I'm sure we have some viewers that use Roku like you do, and they could definitely find Hypnotic Eye on there if they were.
Yeah. I've shown how to see it before, but that was over a year ago. Do you have any issues with film?
Your friend Joe, that eye puppet is really cool, man.
He was able. He was world class. He made that puppet himself. He was a really great artist and sculptor and special effects guy. He just never went to Hollywood. He just stayed in Dallas. He went to Memphis to work on John Michael McCarthy's movies, or one or two of them. But yeah, he was great. It just he passed away young. He was a bigger than life guy. He was like a big bear of a guy, and I think he had an Irish temper, and he probably got mad about something because he could get mad about things, and I guess, I don't know, at some point maybe his heart gave out. So, how much space does your comic collection take up?
It's 13 long boxes. Essentially, so I have 13 long boxes that are organized on IKEA shelves that are upright, right? You've seen those before, right?
I've seen IKEA shelves. I don't know if I've seen those particular.
Look, I'll show you real quick.
Yeah. Give us. It would be cool if you gave us a tour, if it's possible.
See that right there? So each one of these shelves is a little more than a long box.
Okay.
And these are, I forget what the make of these are, but these are the heavy duty.
Oh, I see. You showed us those before. So your comics are stored.
I have 13 shelves like that, but this is just this is Silver Age, Bronze Age, and up. And most of my collection is stuff from the 70s and 80s. But everything else that isn't this size can't fit on these shelves. So like all my Golden Age stuff and all my magazines, they're just in assorted boxes that are kind of all over the house, and not really that organized right now. So most of my stuff is here, and then all my other stuff is in larger short boxes. Like
Right.
I've got probably 6 short boxes that are Golden Age stuff, and probably 4 short boxes that are magazines. And that's probably it.
Yeah, that's great. That's how I used to have my comics organized in the early days. I had them inside an old secretary on shelves when all my comics would fit on 2 shelves when I was a kid. But that's great. Yeah, so you have them spine out like books.
I do. I have them upright, spine out like books, and organized alphabetically.
Okay.
So, I mean, from 2001 or 1963 all the way down to X-Men or Zap Comics, Yarns of the Yellowstone.
Okay. Steve W. is asking, who is the bikini figurine next to the Thing?
Oh, that's Tigra. Hold on.
Oh. Let's see. I think my Tigra figure is different from that. Wonder how many times they made her into a figurine.
This is the newest Tigra figure made by Marvel Legends.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't know they'd done that.
It's really good
they've
figure.
never bothered to. They're supposed to be making a Werewolf by Night special. They should be doing her. That should be a character.
I mean, there's so much stuff we know that they should be doing in so many different ways that they're choosing not to. Clearly, the people that are in charge of these shows are not fans of the properties. Like they don't know anything about the fandom or about the history of the characters, and so that's why it's so sad that they're screwing everything up so shittily. Yeah. Oh, I know what I'm going to show you. Hold on. Let me come back and sit down. That's enough for now. I picked this up the other day because I had never seen it before, and I mean, it's not rare. It's not anything. I guess it's not that big of a deal, especially if you've been to Argentina. But this is a piece of this space rock. It's a piece of authentic meteorite from this giant space rock that was discovered in Argentina.
Yeah.
In 1576. It's called Campo del Cielo, the space rock meteorite crystal discovered in 1576 AD.
Huh.
And I got a little chunk of it. So I have like a piece of outer space. Isn't that kind of cool, you guys? I don't know if you can even see it.
Yeah, I just oh, there you go.
There it is. See it?
Yeah.
There's just stuff all over the place. It's the same as you. I just like accumulate stuff that helps me. I don't know. That brings, in a way, it must bring good thoughts or something. Like why do I keep? You know what I mean? Like why do you keep accumulating or buying? And often I think about, I have so many comics and books and magazines that I don't know that I have enough time to read all of them. Right? Have you ever thought about that? Like I just keep accumulating, even though I'm unable to even barely put a dent in how much reading material that I have lined up for myself.
Right.
And then with the toy collecting, it's very much like comic collecting in that if you're a completist and a certain type of personality, it's right lined up with you. Like you want to have one of everything, or you want to. Yeah. For me, I want to get back all the things that I lost. Like for you, you're fortunate to have almost hung on to basically everything. So sometimes I'll look on your show, like some of the things that you have are parts of my childhood that I want to get back as well, because like I still haven't found my Hugo Man of 1,000 Faces.
Oh yeah.
I just saw something else recently that you have that you. Oh, I know what you have, that Fort Cheyenne that you have up in the background.
Oh yeah, did you have one of those?
No, yeah, I don't have one. I want to get one. I didn't have one as a kid, and I really like the graphic on that. I have so many cowboys and Indian figures that I need more room to fit them. That there's too many they're overflowing from the my Mark's Metal carry-all Fort Apache. So I need another fort to put all my figures in.
Yeah, I've got this. I don't know. At some point, I don't know why I did this. I put a whole bunch of figures And I'll show you. I probably should take him out. I think this was it was an animal cracker thing. I'll unbiggen myself. It was an animal cracker thing, and so I got it's filled with these figures. Let's see what's in here.
Oh, that's great.
This is a knight from this King Arthur set I had.
That's cool. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it came with that set. This is part of a catapult. Maybe it's the whole catapult. But it's not to scale really with those guys, or is it? No, not quite. I don't remember where that came from. Yeah, a lot of these are just those guys, these King Arthur people. Yeah, they probably would look better on a shelf than in this fucking Phrygian thing. Trying not to curse.
I do the same thing though. I'm out of shelf space at this moment. I mean,
yeah,
I either need to buy more shelves, or I mean, that's really my only solution, because if I continue to buy toys, they're just going to end up having to be stacked up and put in the closets eventually. Because I just have to. I'm always rotating stuff because I'm essentially out of shelf space. So when I buy
to a bigger place, I mean, maybe not in San Francisco, but
exactly, or a bigger place. Yep.
There's a house down the street for $160,000 that's huge. Now look at this.
Oh, that's cool.
And this is like a Buffalo Bill kind of guy.
Do you remember where you lived when you got these? Where you guys were?
We were stationed in Heidelberg, Germany. I think we're in Lahnstuhl, if that's how it's pronounced, Germany first. And then...
yeah, I haven't seen these before.
Yeah, there's a play set I think these go with that. There's a few on eBay. I want to get it, and I probably shouldn't like show it here because then people will get it. There's part of a skeleton. Oh, see, if I go down far enough, I'm getting to the little bitty army men that are the size of those little Martians I showed you the other day. I don't know what this came from, but it's kind of cool.
I don't know what that is. You still have Freakies? Do you have the Freaky figures? The Freakies from the cereal?
I know what they are. I'm thinking I have magnets.
Well, they made the magnets came out too. That that was inside the cereal, but they had these little figures that are just about the size of the ones that you're showing right now, except they were made of different color plastic, bright colors. They're really
might have had them at one time. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I had them and I don't have them anymore, and they're one of those things that's highly sought after and are rare and expensive. It's always the coolest stuff that's most expensive, right?
Yeah, it's just like World War I.
Cool.
What is this?
That's really cool little tank.
What does it say there? German
BP gun AUFBF.
Okay, well that answers the question. I have some really ornate knights that I think were made in England that have their faces are colored like skin, and they've got, I think I saw them in the garage. I haven't pulled them in yet.
Do they kind of disassemble, like the weapons come out?
Unfortunately, I kind of hate that because then you like wind up missing things like this
Right.
Indian. The head's probably somewhere,
Yeah.
but it's molded in different colored plastic, and I'd rather it all
I had
be
those two, the exact same thing. The little hats you would lose like down the furnace grate, stuff
and
like
even the
that.
visors on the knights that go up and down, you can take them off. This is probably 50s. I think it was my older brother's, and at some point it became mine, so my name was written on it.
Excellent.
Oh, okay. This must be from like a Ben-Hur Roman shit kind of set.
Yeah, for sure.
There's supposed to be a guy, maybe he's in here on that little peg. And then there were these airplanes that you could get back then. This is a good magnifying glass, this camera on the computer. What does it say there?
German.
German? Does that say German?
No, it doesn't. It says Great Britain.
Oh, Britain. No, G Britain, maybe Great Britain.
Yeah, Great Britain.
Okay, so this was an English made, or either the plane is British or the toy came from England. I don't know. Let's try these other planes here and see if they all say that.
Flying Fortress.
B-17 Flying Fortress.
Yep.
And they were this color. Imagine if they were this color in real life. Okay, here's the little bitty guys. This looks like a Viking, maybe?
Yeah. That might be the company was called Airfix that made those little really small like HO scale figures. Or
look at this little parody of Batman from, I don't know, some bootleg person.
Maybe from is that 1989?
It looks like it's a knockoff on the 89 one, yeah, because it's black. That's the first time I think Batman was portrayed as this guy. Looks shit. See, his head just fell off. God damn it!
We had this furnace that was in the floor at our house, and there was like these grates, right? And once a toy dropped down into that grate, it was gone forever because it would go down like a chute down into the furnace and just get melted. Yeah. And so I remember losing the cowboys, just like you're showing with the hats and the handkerchiefs and the guns, and they came in pieces and stuff. Many of them fell down the chute down into the furnace at my house.
Looks like it was it a Viking ship maybe? See, this tank is missing the top part of it. Is this like a D-Day kind of boat?
Right, yeah.
Landing craft. That looks like the manufacturing mark there, MPC or something.
It is. That's an old one. That one right there was like from the early 60s or late 50s when you see that actual MPC marking like that.
Really? Well, that would be, see, my brothers were 10 years older than me, so. Yeah, these look much better out on display than in here, but I need more shelving too. I mean, I've got space for more shelving. I just don't have the shelving. Because, where's the camera? Oh, there we go.
These are really cool, Gratu. I haven't seen these in these bright colors like this. Once again, this is old stuff that came from your brothers, right?
This is my oldest brother, Steve, that passed away. This was all his stuff. And this is...
there's a quality to the plastic. It's part of why I enjoy collecting this stuff. Is there's qualities to the plastic that changed throughout the years, and they can never be they can never recreate what this stuff was. Now you could make like reproduction molds and try and make the toy again, but you could never make the same mix of plastic again because it would be illegal and impossible to concoct because the ingredients have been banned, right?
I think he's an injured guy that's crawling along.
Yeah, he is. He's a wounded soldier or something.
Like, oh shit.
So yeah, throughout the years, the plastic and vinyl and it changed and styrene, and there's qualities to it that makes it cool.
This is not as old. It's probably an old mold, but I think this was more recent, like 80s possibly. What is this giant thing in here, man? What is this, man? There's some big figure in here. Here's a kind of chuck wagon or something. Shit. So here's one of the knights, you know, the shield should go there. He should have a sword in his hand. He should have a head. But hopefully they're everything's in this here. Shit. Oh, man.
Those were called they were called swappets, is what the name of those soldiers were. Swappets.
They called them that?
Yeah, they called them that because you could obviously swap out the heads and the guns and things like that and the weapons.
This was a guy that was holding a stretcher with a wounded guy.
Half track.
It's a seal.
What have you been reading? Have you been reading anything good? Any good new comics that are worth noting?
No new comics. I haven't. You know, I just been. You know, the world's supposed to end today. Maybe everyone forgot.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was supposed to end.
Yeah, there all these people are saying the 24th, the 25th, something really bad's supposed to happen. What was this? A Terminator? It's broken. It's supposed to be down like this, but it won't stay that way anymore.
I don't
Is
know
that
what
this was. I think it was part of the Terminator line. That was one of the disturbing things when let's see what people are. I'm missing out on the comments.
I'm sorry, I can never see the comments. My vision is so bad, you guys, that I have to get really close.
Yeah, tell me about it. In Iowa, you can buy a whole mini mall for $700,000. Have those plastic planes. Anyone remember
I do remember
Chuck Wagon dog food? Yeah, of course. Yeah,
those were
I love
great.
those Chuck Wagon commercials. So funny with little mini Chuck Wagon.
Yeah, they were great.
Many
commercials were great. So commercials were bearable and enjoyable to watch in my youth. So much so that I actually rewatch them now on YouTube still. I'll watch old broadcasts purposefully with the commercials in them.
I remember that when we lived in Germany, on Saturday nights, about 6 or so, they would run an hour or two of American commercials, and it was one of the top-rated shows because people thought it was really cool to see these great American commercials. I think this came from Disneyland or Disney World. I forgot that even existed. But anyway, so they would run these it would just be a 2-hour block of American commercials shown for entertainment, and then in between the commercials, they would, like every 2 or 3 commercials, they'd have a little 10-second cartoon where some elves are running around, some Smurf looking guys, but it was yeah, there's some more recent stuff mixed in here, but that's a good one. Now, this is the way to look at these things, is holding them up to a computer and because it works like a magnifying glass. What was this thing called? A Weeble, or what was it? I don't remember. This has been modified. I don't know what that thing's called.
What was this from? Fisher Price?
Oh, Fisher Price, yeah.
Fisher Price.
That's the worst kind of toy. That's for the kids that watched Mr. Rogers. They would enjoy.
Yeah, there were like disappointing toys.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do a whole video on or talk about that.
Disappointing toys.
Yeah, what added up to what was a disappointing toy? I'm trying to think of what it would be like. For me, it would be like, so I used to get souvenirs, right? So we used to do a lot of traveling, and sometimes like my mother, she would go out and then she would come back and she would bring me back a souvenir, right?
No.
And sometimes the souvenirs would be disappointing, but you had to always behave. I had to always behave like it was very thoughtful of her to always be thinking of me and buying me these little things, right? Little trinkets and things that came from a souvenir shop in a casino or a hotel. That's what she'd be bringing me. And some of them would just be kind of lame. So yeah, I would get like little like 1908 car, right? Like a car like a die-cast car that would be the exact opposite of what I would be interested in. I would be looking for like a 1968 Lamborghini or something, and she would bring me a 1908 Bentley with like no fenders, you know what I mean? Like the old steam-powered automobiles.
Yeah.
And yeah, she would just get it wrong. She would just, not intentionally. These are great figures. I've never seen these before. These are definitely not the Airfix, because the Airfix was made of like a hard, brittle, like styrene, like what models are made out of.
I'm sure that all of these things came in big packs in the 5 and dime stores.
Right.
And he bought them by a big quantity. I'm sure a lot of these planes they weren't sold, individually. But anyway.
In my early visits to Disneyland, the most important thing at the beginning would be getting my souvenir. So as soon as we would get to Disneyland and the plans would all be made, like my older siblings would split up and make a plan with meeting back with my mom and I at a certain place at a certain time, and then they would take off. Right. I would immediately want to go to Adventureland and get like a spear with a rubber head or a Davy Crockett hat with a coonskin tail sticking off of it. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
yeah.
So that would be what I would want. And so then the entire day at Disneyland, I would have my spear or my 6-gun in its holster or my raccoon skin hat. And that would be part of the entire experience for me at Disneyland, was just getting that initial souvenir right off the bat.
Six Flags Over Texas used to be able to get Confederate colonel hats and Confederate flags. Not anymore, man. It's just 6 American flags now. They don't mess around with Texas history anymore.
I remember my elementary school choir, we sang Dixie.
Oh no.
Like 6th graders sang Dixie. In California, we sang Dixie.
Is that a Japanese soldier that's been shot? Probably.
It is.
They don't make many American, United States soldiers falling backwards shot. I don't think. Sometimes,
March would make like one of those dudes. I have like a cavalryman that is like being shot in the heart with an arrow. It's a pretty brutal one.
Yeah, but that's cavalry is like. I mean, this is 1960s. If you make a World War II soldier being shot, and the dad's was in World War II, is playing with his son, that's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, that is
the Dawn of the Dead.
Well, sometimes the marked Japanese soldiers, I think that they're wearing like John Lennon glasses and have buck teeth.
Yeah. They were making molds of those. You could buy them in the late 80s at Toys R Us. I remember. There's the other guy. I just got to find the stretcher, and then there's a wounded guy that goes on the stretcher. This must be where like a dead horse goes or something. That's weird.
Hey, remember when we were talking about? I looked those up. I even posted a picture of one on Instagram. Those kooky spookies or spooky kookies, but the
Right.
ones, the glow in the dark ghosts, the finger puppet ones.
Right.
Those, I hadn't thought of those in years and years, Gratu, until you just mentioned it the other day. That was one that I forgot all about, and
Yeah.
I liked those. I had a couple of those. Yeah,
I've got two of them. The one you posted, I have. I just don't have the clock that went around his chest. I don't know where that is, but it's gone. But those two soldiers, I mean, so those two ghosts, they're here somewhere. I hope they're probably down in that room that's got all the Batman memorabilia. Sometimes I think something's lost and it's just up on a shelf right in front of me, but I don't know.
right.
So, yeah, I probably am not putting these shows up properly. I posted a show and then I immediately started a live stream. So people, if they even want to watch one of them, they have to pick between. It's like I'm getting, it's my obsessive compulsive tendencies coming out. But at least this is an inexpensive way to do it. Because if my obsessive compulsive tendencies were directed to buying 40 different variant covers of the same comic book, that would be bad. But right now it's just, hanging out for a few hours on the yeah, I don't know, people get pissed sometimes when you put up too many shows. They take it real seriously.
What are your? Do you mind if I ask what are your returning view? What's your analytics like for the? That one that's the percentage of your viewers that are subscribed. What are yours? Do you mind if I ask? Because mine are ridiculously.
I was just thinking of looking. What are yours say?
92% of the people that view my videos are not subscribed to my channel, according to YouTube. But then also, the numbers can't be right, Gratu, because it says that I don't have any viewers over 50, and that's ridiculous. We're all over 50.
Mine is kind of the opposite of what you're saying. Okay, it tells when your viewers are on YouTube. I never look at that. I go down. The age is interesting because it shows that no one below age 35 watches.
So mine is almost the opposite of yours. My viewers are 18 to 44, most of them, and I don't have anybody over 50.
It might be because you have shorter videos for shorter attention spans, and they're all toy related, and they can relate to. I don't know.
You're absolutely right. That's the reason why mine is different, because my videos are short and they're all toy related.
Let's see, the 55 to 64 is where 82.3% of my viewers are.
Yeah, mine are
right around my age range, and then 65 plus is 4.7, and then male is 94.5%, female 5.5%.
I'm 75-25. I'm 25% female, 75% male.
Oh, well, that's good. Maybe it's all you don't ever curse on your. Maybe that's the problem. The U.S. is 78%. I've got 1.5 in United Kingdom, 0.8% in Canada, and 0.2% in Finland. So that leaves some people unaccounted for. I don't think that adds up to 100. But here's subscribed is 63.1, non-subscribed 36.9.
That's good.
I used to have more subscribed. It used to, I think, be more like 75%. Some people don't understand how I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mine is terrible. It's 90% of my viewers don't subscribe to my channel because some of my videos are ending up in searches and they're quick, short watches, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I've got videos that have a lot of views that are only 30 seconds long.
Okay, maybe I've had the ones that I've had that had the most views were one of the jukebox that I've got downstairs. That's gotten a lot of views. Probably people that have that jukebox or wanting to buy one.
Right.
If you got something and you're the only person on YouTube that's got it,
Right.
like there was a mall I hung out at as a kid and it's gone now. And I think a lot of other people remember this mall fondly, like I do, and go on YouTube thinking they'll find some footage of the inside of the mall. And there's nothing. When you look up Forum 303 Mall, you just get my video where I'm driving by where it used to be, but it's got, I think, a couple thousand views,
Right.
which is great for me because I've been averaging, I think, barely reaching 300 on views lately. But if I post too often, like I've been doing the last few days, it takes a while for people to catch up. If you just wait 4 or 5 days between videos, then the views go up because I think maybe some people it only shows the last video that you did as an option of something to watch.
Right.
And let's see, what are people saying here? Sean Goris says, I can remember early 80s war comics fighting Japanese comics. They were racist as fuck, as if we were still at war with them. Yeah. Because those guys doing the comics in the 80s were probably involved in World War II. And is the new Orloff compound bigger than the one in the old country? Yeah, we went from a 2,500 square foot house to over 6,000 square feet. Well, Meyer, I'm over 50 and I'm subscribed to you.
Yeah, there you go.
How
Thanks,
does YouTube know the correct age of viewers? They could be lying. I don't remember ever telling YouTube my age, but I think YouTube is and Facebook, I think, are the same people. And so I think they get the information from Facebook if you didn't lie when you gave your age there. What's Meyer's channel? Okay, that's a good question. We need to put that there. I've seen him on Four Color Fossils and his Johnny Wetz stuff the other night was great. Okay, so Friar Tuck wants to subscribe to you.
Yeah, it's just Meyer Greenblatt. It's the same as my name that you see on the screen right there.
There can't be more than one Meyer Greenblatt on YouTube.
I think I'm the only one. I think I'm the only channel. There's a financial advisor that has my same name, but I don't think he has a channel.
Yeah, not a toy channel, probably. You probably can find them pretty easily. I'm going to walk down to this car show that starts in 4 minutes, but it's about a 4-minute walk. So if you want to see the car show, it'll be posted in a few hours. And then there's some band playing later tonight about 7 called the Silver Bullet Band. I know it is not Bob Seger's band. It's probably a Bob Seger cover band. Forrest Jackson says YouTube algorithm does recommend that Gratuval shopping mall video pretty often in my feed anyhow.
Yeah, I've seen it too.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I don't curse in it. I probably don't. And I talk all my memories about it. I guess some people like it. Go Away says I'm 57. Yeah, I'm 57 too. I had some hand-me-down Johnny West stuff from my older brother.
I'm 57 also. It's weird how we all ended up together. All right, man.
Yeah. All right. Take care. I'll see you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care. All right, guys, I'll be back soon. And do me a favor, if you're still watching, why don't you, I'm not going to beg, but subscribe, because I really want to get to 1,000 subscribers, because then I could make, people say, all I make is about $30 a month. That would buy dinner that would make me a hero to my wife if I was getting $30 a month for doing this. That would be fantastic. But you can't make money off of YouTube unless you have 1,000 subscribers. So if you could subscribe and then ring that bell thing, if you hit that, it tells you when videos get posted. Go Away says he's in California. Well, so's Meyer. So I don't know. Maybe you're close by. Anyway, I'm going to take off, and I'll see you guys soon because I want to go see these cars, and I will be back with some cars before too long. And let's see. So in broadcast.